Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. We did a series of articles that had a lot to do with working with CEOs, dealing with CEOs, reaching CEOs, and one of the people we were able to interview for those articles was our guest this segment, Keith Klein, with TurningPointWealthManagement.com. You can find his article at priceofbusiness.com, and I encourage you to check that out. That particular article caught my attention. I like it. And also specifically was on the importance of putting customers first, which is, now like a cliche. It's been reduced to a cliche, but businesses that are actually doing that, props to them for actually doing that. Keith, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Kevin. It's great to be here with you today.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your firm.
Well, my firm's Turning Point Wealth Management, and after reaching a turning point of my own, I wanted to establish a firm that would provide independent, unbiased advice to successful business owners, executives, and highly paid salespeople. Our key, though, is to implement solutions for our clients. Our focus is always to provide the best ideas and the best products to, go along with that unbiased advice. I think one of the problems in the advice world today is, implementation with just a plan and never really works. It's almost like a water without ocean. Unless you have an oar, a sail, or a motor, you're never going to cross it. So, the bottom line is we help people implement their plans to reach their ultimate goals.
What kind of people are your clientele? Is there a particular group, age group, type of industries? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, if you look at the primary industries that I've worked with, oil and gas executives and salespeople, some biopharmaceutical companies and tech companies, a lot of successful people, and some of the smaller companies that serve those industries, from manufacturers representatives to product representatives. But those are some three primary areas, along with physicians and successful women business owners.
Right. Your clients are the individuals, but reaching them isn't different or much different than almost a B2B type sale.
No, exactly. We've done, in the B2B sale, we've done a lot of work in implementing retirement plans for those businesses as well. So it is a little bit of a B2B sale. But at the end of the day, what you're really trying to focus on is really trying to do the most right thing for your client. You mentioned in your warm-up that, doing right by the client is somewhat of a cliche today, but it's not only about doing things right, it's about doing the most right thing for your client based on their goals and objectives.
Yeah, I see you're corporately located in the Arizona area, Phoenix, Arizona. Is that where all your clients are, or are they all over the country? Or
they're all over the country. I actually have clients there in Houston. Originally started the business in Detroit, and then I chased my wife out to Arizona. And so now we have clients ranging literally all over the United States, from literally California to New York.
Yeah, you weren't really in Detroit. I mean, you may have had an office in Detroit, but you lived somewhere else. Where did you live?
I lived in Troy. I lived in Troy, Michigan.
Yeah, you lived in Troy. Yeah, and that's what, about 5 or 6 miles north of 9 Mile. Maybe more than that, 10 miles north or something like that. Yeah, I grew up in Ferndale. Do you know Ferndale?
Yes, I do. I actually, at one time in a past life, I actually coached swimming for the Troy Athens swim team, and I've actually had my kids in the Ferndale pool.
Ferndale High School?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. I grew up in Ferndale, Michigan. Great place to grow up. So glad we left. We left when I was 13, because even then, the joke was in the 1970s when we left was, the last person who leaves, please turn out the lights. It didn't look good then, and it's really horrific now. The state of Michigan itself is really going through a renaissance. Phenomenal what the leaders have done in just a few short years. Is an incredible story. But, Detroit itself is going to be lagging way behind the rest of the state in their recovery.
Yeah, that is a hard part, and it's going to take a lot of successful businesses to plant roots there and grow. It's almost like a tale of two states, because you have the west side that has done so well, and then you have continue to see the east side struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
And but there has been a lot of good work, that's for sure.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's miraculous. I think it's a great example of media's bias that we don't see stories almost every week about how Michigan has turned around. They don't want to talk about the fact that turnaround had to do with the fact that they eliminated, it became a right-to-work state, stopped the closed union laws, wiped out tons of regulations. It went from 40. I now have as many states as Barack Obama has. 48 or 49 on the competitive lists. In terms of most competitive for doing business, to 24 in 4 years. I mean, it jumped over 20-something states in competitiveness in 4 years. I mean, it's really miraculous. In fact, I think I'm very optimistic about the whole Midwest when you look at what's happening with Indiana, with Mike Pence, John Kasich in Ohio. It's pretty exciting, the Renaissance. Anyway, you made an accidental turn by mentioning Detroit, which I still have a huge heart for, but it's such a mess. Your clients are all over the place. Tell me about the firm. How many employees does your firm have, or investment people in your firm?
We have 2 investment people in our firm that run money and do financial planning, and then we have a 3-member team of staff people that provide marketing help, administrative help, and just day-to-day support to the advisors.
Okay. And what would you say, and how old is your firm?
Well, Turning Point's been in existence for about 3 years now. I've been in the industry almost 20 years now. But as I mentioned before, I'd been working with some major insurance companies in the past, and what it really came down to was when it came to implementing financial plans, we wanted to really have an unbiased look at not only advice that we provide, but an unbiased solution to be able to put in place to help our clients and business owners get to the point where they felt comfortable and knew that they were getting the best advice and the most right thing going in their portfolio, whether it be something that would help them from tax planning to their estate plan, let alone their investment or insurance planning.
Very cool, very cool. So let me ask you, we talked about putting customer first. What makes your firm unique in doing that, in your opinion?
Well, I think that the 2 things is you have to empower your people. Whenever you have staff, the reality is they're the front line to your business. A phone call that comes in, they have to be able to welcome them. They have to be able to make decisions in the event that maybe there is a question or a problem or something, a transaction just didn't go as well as it should. And you have to be able to empower your people to address it right up front. Because I could be simply with another client at the time, not being able to address it right there and then. And you got to have the support of your team to be able to help your client and resolve those issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing more painful than waiting for feedback on what's happening with one's financial situation. And so being able to defer that kind of authority to your team makes it much better for your clients.
Yeah, things get done quicker, faster, and at the end of the day, it is a business. I mean, we're in the business of helping people. Granted, what we do is provide financial advice and help people obtain products. But at the end of the day, we're in the business of helping people, and we can't let little things get in the way. We have to be able to address them, and sometimes attack them, and be able to help our clients get through all the good things in their lives. Like we say, people have turning points in their lives, both good and bad, and we have to be able to help them get there. We have to be able to get there at their pace, not always at our pace.
Got to wrap it up. Keith Klein, he's with TurningPointWealthManagement.com. I encourage you to check him out. Thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on the show today. Have a great day.
You too. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here, it shows up over there at USDataReview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, and you are listening to The Price of Business.